What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, interesting facts, 6 brilliant facts about fireworks. Indeed. Happy 4th of July, celebrating your independence. Blending science and spectacle, fireworks have been entertaining crowds and marking important holidays for centuries. Chinese chemists are said to have discovered the formula for explosive powder by accident, while a famous explorer kickstarted an Italian craze for bigger and more beautiful displays. Even a future U.S. president opined on the virtue of illuminations for public celebrations. Let's shed some light on fireworks with the 6 facts below. Number 1, the world's first fireworks were developed in China. The precursors of to fireworks were simple bamboo sticks thrown into bonfires, which popped loudly when the air inside the bamboo's chambers heated up and burst. Chinese villagers were using these rudimentary fireworks to celebrate the new year and ward off nefarious spirits. By the 2nd century BCE. Legend suggests that around 1000 CE, Chinese alchemists stumbled upon the formula for gunpowder and applied the discovery to weapons of war. During the Song Dynasty, 960 to 1276 CE, people began packing gunpowder into paper tubes, and lighting them on fire. They also created bunches of firecrackers tied together so that the initial explosion would start a chain reaction. Pretty cool, Chinese people. I appreciate that. Number 2, Marco Polo. I had to do that. Marco Polo reportedly brought fireworks to Europe. When Marco Polo returned to Venice from Asia at the end of the 13th century, he brought back a number of curious items. Among them were fireworks, which he reportedly introduced or at least helped popularize in the region that is now Italy. During the Renaissance, metallurgists in Florence created fireworks displays during religious holidays. Romans set them off after the elections of popes, and fireworks shows were popular theater at court in Ferrara. Italian craftspeople developed colored fireworks in the 1830s, and the tradition lives on. 2 of the largest American fireworks companies, Zambelli and Fireworks by Grucci, were founded by Italian immigrants in the 19th century. Number 3, firework shells contain 6 simple components. In pyrotechnic parlance, a shell is a bundle of explosives materials that forms the nucleus of a firework. They're usually packed in a paper tube in a specific order. In the center of the shell are tiny cubes of chemicals called stars, other compounds to create special effects, a bursting charge, and an internal time fuse connected to a packet of black powder called the lifting charge. A fuse leads from the lifting charge to the exterior of the shell. When the fuse is lit, it eventually ignites the lifting charge, sending the shell into the sky. As it rises, the flame burns through the internal time fuse to the bursting charge, which explodes the whole shell in a shower of colored sparks. Pretty cool. Number 4. There would be no fireworks without chemistry. Specifically, the chemistry that creates black powder, also known as gunpowder. The standard mix for the black powder used in modern fireworks hasn't changed much in the last few centuries. It's a combination of 75% potassium nitrate, saltpeter, 15% charcoal, and 10% sulfur. When ignited, the sulfur melts over the charcoal and saltpeter, which combusts and causes the explosion. There is chemistry in fireworks colors as well. Specific chemical compounds in the stars release different wavelengths of light when ignited. Strontium salt creates red fireworks. Barium salts make green, and sodium salts create yellow. Blue, made by copper salts, is the hardest color to achieve. Too much copper, and the explosions are too dark to be seen at night, while too little copper makes the fireworks appear plain white. Pretty cool. Hey, I heard on a side note, I heard about that black powder thing in a Star Trek episode back in the, well, I did not back in the 60s for me, but one of the 1960s original series Star Treks was when Kirk was fighting against the Gorn, and he picked up potassium nitrate, charcoal, and sulfur, and made himself an explosive, made himself a little weapon that he could use to defeat the Gorn. That's a little side note. I'm such a nerd. Number 5. 4th of July fireworks displays are almost as old as the United States. The Second Continental Congress declared the American colonies freedom from British control on July 2nd, 1776, a day that Massachusetts delegate John Adams called the most memorable epocha in the history of America. In a letter to his wife Abigail, Adams continued, quote, "It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shoes, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore." End quote. On July 4th, 1777, the first anniversary of Congress's adoption of the final Declaration of Independence, that's exactly what happened. Though it wasn't all Adams' idea, fireworks had been a part of public patriotic festivals for centuries by that time. Yeah, I know. People shoot fireworks. I get it. Number 6. Fireworks helped inspire the anti-noise movement. While fireworks are a visual spectacle, they also produce a lot of noise. Social reformers concerned about the din's effect on people's health and safety formed the Society for Suppression of Unnecessary Noise in New York City in December 1906. Led by physician Julia Barnett Rice, the group convinced lawmakers to regulate steamboat whistles, train noise, and fireworks. In an essay titled Our Barbarous Fourth, Rice condemned the cacophony of ceaseless firecrackers and every noise device from the tin trumpet to the dangerous pistol. The society eventually convinced city officials to establish noise-free, quiet zones around hospitals and facilities serving poor residents. How about that? That's 6 brilliant facts about fireworks. Do you have any brilliant facts? Drop some comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you celebrate using fireworks, or are you more of a sparkler type person, or do you refrain from anything that explodes or lights on fire? Some people have some phobias about that, or just don't like fire for that reason, for that matter. But let me know. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Smarter. Hey, stick around for more. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace.